If they just held it back about 5 minutes, we'd have had it.
Man, even if they
That's
held
the
it back
fish.
for
That's the
two, they
whale
would
that got away.
have. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. If they just held it back for 2 minutes, we would have got it.
I know it was that close, wasn't it? But some people that have been with us a long time probably went on and got in, but we can't claim credit for it because it just took off. But
Yeah. Yeah.
the other thing I did today, uh, I, I I made about 60% on three different trades I did using the SPY and the XSP. And what I'm going to do, I decided I was going to do this, Jeff. I like putting it out there. People that join Genesis or part of Genesis, I'm
Hmm.
going to do 10 trades over the next 30 days uh, as bonus trades for those that join because I did the math on it. If somebody had $1,000 and took three of those trades today, they'd have made 20% on each one. So that's what, 200, 600 on 1,000. That's 60% they made today on that trade. And I've dialed it in. I got the parameters for it. So this Genesis is so valuable if people will learn how to use it. That's one of the big issues, Jeff. It's a different area
Yes.
and it's one that is pretty powerful.
It really
Uh,
is. I mean, one thing that's nice about the algo, you don't have to, try to guess or anything like that. It tells you what to do and
Tells
how to
you,
do it. Yeah. Yeah.
and the question is, which trade do you choose and how do you choose it? But what I like about it is the DTI approach. And sometimes it takes 2 or 3 years to get that down because it's a 24-hour approach to the markets. But this just picks that Genesis hour and takes advantage of what's happening.
That's right.
And today it gave a buy signal and Genesis and markets up quite a bit since it gave us buy signal. I don't know how anybody could trade without it, honestly. I look at it every day.
Yeah. After what we saw yesterday, and I looked at it this morning, it gave it long on the QQQ. I said, really? And all of a sudden, Apple and all those guys started taking off.
No, I know it's sort of deal. But let's why don't we ask everybody where they're signing in from, and then we'll get going. Well, Joe B, good thing you got noticed.
Aruba.
Aruba, Scott's in Aruba. Frank's out in Sacramento, California. Rancho Cordova. I lived there for about 6 months. Tina's
Echo.
from Georgia.
Yeah.
Hey, there's somebody from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. That's a famous county now. Bucks County. Ocala, Florida must be a horse person. They love horses in Ocala. South Carolina. Hey, it's finally warmed up down here, Jeff. Did all the snow melt in Mobile?
It is gone. It is all gone now. It hit 65 yesterday and finally finished it off. So it was quite the snowstorm, and they're saying that we might be getting it again next week.
What?
Yeah. I was just
Is it
like,
going to
no,
turn back cold next week again?
it's supposed to turn back cold and there's get some Gulf moisture in here, and poof, we get another snowstorm, which, all righty, here we go.
All
We're
right,
going to end up
let's
being in
do it
Colorado
then.
before
All right,
long.
let's do it.
All righty. All right, let's get through some of the nitty-gritty stuff here a little bit. The profits and performance shown today are not typical. We make no future earnings claims. You may lose money. What you'll see today is an internal audit from June 9th of 2023 through November 11th of 2024. The audit took real issues, issued trade alerts from the brand new Genesis algorithm and applied it to a set of options criteria, meaning each option gain is hypothetical and uses the benefit of hindsight from the live trades in real time, so far we have seen a 78% win rate with a 17.8% average winner and a 6.2% average return over a 2-day average hold time. You can see our terms on the Trading Hub homepage or DTI homepage for more information. And to make this all a little bit more simple, in trading, there will be losers. And there is no black box, miracle system, crystal ball, whatever, that prints out winning trades automatically, unfortunately, right? The whole purpose of our research and work with traders is to help give people an edge in the markets. If you can't handle a losing trade, then you really shouldn't be trading with real money. Paper trade for a little while, kick the tires a little bit. But again, losing in trading has occurred and will occur again in the future. So with that, welcome everyone. My name is Jeff Smith, and you might know me from my work as a pro trader and coach at actually Tom's and mine little private trading academy here. Over the coming days and weeks, the biggest companies in the world are about to start reporting their earnings, and I think most people have heard about this already. But we've got Meta and Microsoft and Apple and all of those guys starting to come out, and we're going to see what they do. And as you know, that can send a shockwave through the markets in either direction, depending on the results, if they're good or bad, right? And you see the Mag 7 make up 1/3 of the S&P 500 and really half of the NASDAQ. I mean, look here, Mag 7 shares of the S&P 500 market cap, 34.6% right now. A year ago, 30.1%. Of course, now back in 2022, 21.6%. And in other news, they carry most of the weight, period, right? And over the next few weeks, we could see bigger swings in the stock market than we've really been used to. I mean, for some traders, that's kind of a scary thought. But for me, I think it makes really a juicy opportunity. You see, recently I got a call from good old T-Buzz, my trading partner here, and he's been able to build out what might be the most hands-free trading weapon that has ever existed. And it's a next generation smart algo that automatically sends you high-powered trade alerts on autopilot nearly every single day. And it works great in volatile markets like these. I mean, that means while you're out doing things you love to do, away from all the screens in the market and everything like that, whenever you hear that ding in your pocket, you know another high conviction trade has just been dialed up. Just like recently on Monday, October 7th here, people could have been out grabbing a bite for lunch or something like that at their favorite restaurant, or heard that little ding in their pocket, pushed a few buttons on the phone and set the trade for an 88% gain. And Tuesday, while enjoying some fresh air, you hear that ding on the phone, you set the trade, and again, a 91% gain the next day. Well, next day comes along, Wednesday, and while catching a quick water break from maybe a tennis game or something like that, there's that ding again for a 48% gain. Of course, we're not done yet. Here comes Thursday, another ding while walking the dog with a 96% gain. And finally, Friday, you place a quick trade, locking in the biggest winner of the week for 107%. Now, had someone started with just a small $1,000 starting stake into each one of these, after only 5 quick trades and maybe 15 total minutes of time, that could have been an extra $4,314 in trading profits for the week. And that's all thanks to the brand new, fully automated smart algorithm called Genesis. And you've heard Tom talk about Genesis before, probably me as well. Now, to set the stage here, Genesis isn't like your old-fashioned trading software indicator. Unlike typical trading tools, which require you to do all of the legwork, manually searching for trades all day long, this smart algo requires zero oversight. Each automatic alert includes everything you should need to trade on the go. You get the stock ticker, entry price, profit target, stop loss, and even an individual chart. And that means instead of sitting at your desk wasting hours out of your day hunting for new trading setups, you can have a chance to target the next win while out doing things you like to do. The Genesis algo is the accumulation of over 40 years of market experience, all automated, all in one place. And it's unlocking a whole new way to trade the stock market. Like what would have happened back on September 12th? At that time, the NASDAQ was dead in the water, wasn't going anywhere. Not much to write about here, right? But thanks to the Genesis running 24/7 around the clock, you could have hit the morning biking little cycle there, and then all of a sudden you hear that ding and read that the QQQ was on the verge of breaking out over the next hour. With a 78% confidence rating based on real money results so far, anybody could have set the trade and a few clicks on their phone and maybe invested 2,000 and then back to their normal day. And sure enough, when everything worked out, an extra $1,723 could have automatically been deposited into the brokerage account in 1 day later. Now, a quick $1,000 from one trade is great, right? That's not even close to the best part. Unlike a lot of strategies that are out there, with Genesis, we don't need to wait days or weeks to get the next entry signal either. Genesis is automatically generating these extremely accurate trade signals, up to 5 times per day. And that means this smart algo literally generates an abundance of trade opportunities every single day. And just look at the 3 other trades that would have hit on the same day. September 12th, a 76% gain in GLD. And here's a 164% gain in the SPY. And if you like the IWM, here's 270% gain on IWM. And of course, it should go without saying that markets don't come with guarantees, right? There's no magical button for instant wealth. Our internal audit that overlaid hypothetical option trades on live trading signals showed remarkable results. But we cannot promise this to continue, right? So if you're looking for a get rich overnight thing, then please do yourself a favor and just kind of log off or just kind of sit back and relax a little bit. But if you're looking for an undeniable edge, a new way to trade the markets, unlike anything I've ever seen before, then look no further. Because with Genesis, you'll always have a constant stream of alerts firing off in your back pocket to choose from, with tickers that are leading the pack and breaking out. No more headaches staring at confusing chart patterns. No more forcing low probability trades. Genesis does all the heavy lifting for you automatically. So if you want to be one of the first in the world to have a behind the scenes look at this incredible trading breakthrough, then stay tuned. Because by the end of this broadcast, a handful of people will be able to jump in on the next stock Genesis flag to break out today. And I'll share the 5 stocks I expect to move higher in 2025, targeting what could be the next great move. This one on GLD, 83%, SPY, 96%. So if you want in on the next opportunity, I want to hear from you right now. So go ahead, Adam. Let's open up the chat for everyone real quick and see what to say. So if you want today's trade alert free of charge, post Genesis in the chat.
Hey, Jeff, well, you said that. We just had a bonus trade in Genesis go off. Another
Cool.
20%. Another 20%.
All right. So let's do it. Like I mentioned a moment ago, my name is Jeff Smith, and you might recognize me as a head educator at DTI, where I've traded for over 24 years, or maybe you followed my 12x trader strategy and experienced its 91% win rate firsthand. But I can't take all of the credit for my trading success. You see, after leaving my regular job as an engineer more than 20 years ago to become a full-time trader, I met one of the most influential people of my life. His name is Tom Busby, good old T-Buzz. Now, Tom got started in the markets way back in the 70s, and since then, he's been featured all over the place. BNN was a great one. Nice little interview there. CNN, Trading Pub, CNBC, and his books are still one of the most valuable resources I know for traders at all levels, whether you're just getting started or if you've been in it for a few decades, just like we have. And much of Tom's success dates back to when he was handpicked by the CME to receive his very own Globex terminal. It was one of 50 in the whole world, and he had it here in Mobile, Alabama. That gave him insights to the markets that no one else had at the time, and even helped him manage a firm so successfully that it was eventually bought out by a 1.3 trillion institution, Morgan Stanley. Now, that he's walked away from Wall Street, he's been on a mission to show everyday people how to tap into some of the same methods that have been kept away from the average Joe. And just hear some of the very best stories from some of his students following his work. Here's Bruce. When I follow you, I make money. Tom is committed to helping you all the way through the trade. And Bob here, the program is amazing, up over $2,000 today. He started out with $2,000 starting stake, and that was a one-day hold. And Jim here, last week, I used Genesis Algo to make 100% overnight. And how about Jason, who said 2 trades, each 30% profit in 15 minutes, already paid for the Genesis program. How do you like that one? Now, Tom, I want you to take it away from here.
Thanks, Jeff. And while you were talking, I had 3 more trades that popped at 20%. So if they stayed at the end, I'll tell them the bonus I'm going to do if they sign up today. Okay.
There you go.
Great to be here in just a moment. I'll reveal how we've identified these breakout stocks, average a 78% win rate, folks. 78. Let's round it up, say 4 out of 5 trades for the past 16 months. Find somebody who can do that. Please reveal a few of the live alerts that's fired off today. But first, it's important to remember there's no get rich quick button that you can just hit a button when it comes to trading. When you get hands on this, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. I like to train people when I give them something this powerful. I don't want you to shoot yourself. You know what I mean? Be smart. Don't overleverage yourself because losses are always possible. Instead, these trade signals help grow your account over time. That's the strategy. Genesis is designed to radically change when you enter trades and how you look at the markets. People believe buying fear, selling greed is the key to becoming a successful trader. That's what most people believe. You heard what Warren Buffett said. When others are fearful, and sell when others are greedy. I don't know if I agree with that. And while that is generally a great approach in theory, try it. The sad reality is it's practically impossible for the average trader to execute. When fear is at its peak, the urge to sell can be overwhelming, which almost always turns out to be the wrong decision. And when greed takes over, the temptation to keep putting it out there and keep riding the wave can lead to devastating losses. I know. So if you ever made critical mistakes in your own trading because you felt the fear of missing out or the fear of losing money, it's not your fault. As a human, these emotions are hardwired into your brain. It's basically a basic survival instinct. What you need is a way to overcome these human handicaps using a more practical, process, data-driven approach. One that helps give you a clear picture of when stocks are on the verge of breaking out. For example, check out what happened last July the 9th. At the time, the S&P 500 was stuck. You've seen this a lot, going nowhere fast. Well, most traders would have had no clue if the SPY was about to break out or crash to new lows. But if you knew on this candlestick right away that the SPY had a high probability of breaking out in the next day with a 78% success rate, you got the numbers so far on the live trade results, of course you'd buy. You'd take it in. And if you didn't have to be at the computer to catch the trade, that's the beauty of Genesis. In fact, you could be out playing golf, get your ding in your pocket, hear that ding, automatically receive the entry signal with the stop and profit loss criteria to practically set it and forget it. Click a few buttons from the cell phone, watch the SPY hit the profit target the very next day. It's simple, 73% gain on that one. That's not even the best part. Because the very next day, in your backyard, like I was, throwing the football with my granddaughter, pretty good form if I say so myself. I heard that ding, placed a quick trade, and paid before we ate dinner that night as time rolled around. 96% gain on the spot.
Now, Tom,
Now,
that's pretty incredible. I mean, $2,000 in each would have paid out $3,406 in only 24 hours. And that's on charts that gave almost no directional bias to the naked eye. The Genesis was able to turn it into not one, but two big winners. Now, Tom, I need to know, how is Genesis able to predict these quick breakouts over and over? I mean, sometimes multiple and times in a single day.
hey, that's a great question, Jeff. It's all thanks to the breakouts that happen during one very specific hour of the day. Write this down. If you leave here today, write this down. 12 o'clock Eastern is a key time. If you're trading short-term, long-term, you got to know that time, 12 o'clock Eastern. I call this time of day the Genesis hour. Now, most so-called experts would lead you to believe that the stock market's dead during the middle of the day. Maybe like watching paint dry. That couldn't be further from the truth. Look at that data right there. Right there in front of you, you see the evidence. Look at that bar. Look at the data. What you're looking at here is a typical stock market return by each hour of the day. Morning hours, midday when it's happening, and then in the afternoon. As you can clearly see, there's hardly any money to be made in the opening and closing hours of the day. Just noise. The real money's made during the Genesis hour. You ought to be saying, why? Why is that true? Anyone who can identify the stocks breaking out during the Genesis hour can repeatedly target these quick moves. For example, look at the Russell 2000 small cap index back in June. On June 17th, anyone watching the opening hours of the day might assume that small caps are ready to head lower. Of course, knowing what you know now, you wouldn't have been shocked by the morning drop. But then during the Genesis hour, everything changes. There's a reason. With Asia and Europe markets closed, they're out of the landscape. You're able to quickly see that the Russell 2000 was breaking out. Folks would have been alerted right away, automatically. And look what came next. 114% gain on that ticker IWM. What did happen again on July the 16th? In the morning, markets drifted slightly higher, not a ton of directional bias to base the trade on. But during the Genesis hour, Wall Street showed their cards and the IWM started breaking out. Once again, the boring lunch hours that everybody tells you about turned into a massive trading opportunity. Genesis algo would have automatically sent the entry alert on IWM. Anyone taking about 30 seconds to put the trade on, you can do that. 125% gain on the ticker IWM. Now, if that's not gorgeous enough, watch it happen one more time a few days later. July the 22nd, that same morning noise. You've seen it, heard it. Genesis hour breakout happened. Setup in place, automatic entry with built-in option selection, profit target, stop loss. 280% gain on ticker IWM.
Wow. Now, Tom, 1,000 into that last trade would have paid $2,800 in profit overnight. I mean, someone who was more confident could have started with, let's say, $2,500 and could have pocketed $7,000 in pure profit. I mean, that's cash that could cover a few months of car payments. I mean, eliminate the stress of credit card debt, or simply just an extra $7,000 to beef up the old savings account or rainy day fund. All from one 24-hour trade. Now, Tom, I have to admit, I think this data might come as a shock to almost everyone here in the room. I mean, I've been told countless times that there's no money to be made in the middle of the day because everyone is off to lunch taking a break. But the actual data tells us a completely different story. So, why are stocks breaking out during the middle of the day, during the Genesis hour?
Well, here's the really important thing to know that happens during the 12 o'clock Genesis hour. It's the first hour, the first time of day that stocks are able to move freely on their own. You see, most people assume that trading day starts at 9:30 opening bell. Everybody hears that for years. That's not the case. The day starts a lot early the night before in Asia. Then you have Europe. By the time the U.S. market's open, it's totally confused usually and filled with noise. With all the noise during the morning market action, it's nearly impossible to figure out what Wall Street is really doing. Nearly impossible to find out which stocks are really breaking out. However, with the 12 o'clock Eastern time rolls around, this is the special time period. Something really special does happen. In the first hour of the day, the overseas markets, it's the first hour of the day, write this down, that the overseas markets are closed. No outside influence. America first. It's the first time that we can see Wall Street trading freely on its own without the noise from the international markets. That's why we see so many opportunities during the Genesis hour. You got to know where to look because the worldwide competition has been eliminated and U.S. traders are running the show. And anyone who can spot stocks breaking out during the 12 o'clock Genesis hour can then go in ahead of what could be the next major move. Take a look at what happened back on August 19th, 2024. At that time, the stock market was chopping around, going nowhere fast. Not much directional bias, just that market noise. But during the Genesis hour at 12, once the international markets were done for the day, the S&P started breaking out. That was a clear signal that Wall Street was buying up stocks in the first real hour of their trading day, and markets could go roaring higher. Anyone would place that trade could front run the move that everybody else would see later. 45% gain on the spot. Then take a look at what happened next. August 21st, the S&P was dropping in the morning, but that's just a bunch of noise. But right on time during the Genesis hour, Wall Street took complete control. Overseas competition was eliminated and the markets were officially breaking out. Hey, go out to lunch with some of your best friends. Hear that ding in your pocket, letting you know that the S&P 500 was on the move, giving you specific criteria to take advantage of the opportunity at hand. Anyone who clicked a few buttons to follow along could have seen on that particular ding 67% gain on the ticker SPY.
Nice. So, Tom, I have to say, I've never heard anything like this before, but the proof is in the pudding. I mean, as great as two big time winners would have been in a single week, anyone following along with your Genesis algo could have seen not two, not three, but 6 opportunities that week alone. All 6 would have won. Even a small $500 investment into each of these trades would have paid out $1,268 in profit that week. Now, which isn't a life-changing sum of cash, but it's definitely enough to move the needle, right? Especially considering that the week before would have been even better. It was 5 for 5 with the Genesis algo on GLD and SPY. 4 of which would have paid over 100%. And a small $500 investment in each of these trades would have paid out a nice $2,789 in profit for the week. Which reminds me of what some of your top students have been saying following your trade alerts in the past. I mean, some of your happiest readers, like No Hugh here from Minnesota, who sent this
Oh,
$3,656 single day payout in profit. And old Jim, total of $22,060. Great way to start the month. Please pass along my thanks to Tom. And Ken here, I love its simplicity, a great tool to trade. Picked up an extra $3,200 in one day.
I love it to get those love letters.
I know you
Like a
do.
little listener. But some of the best dudes like Hugh, Jim, and Ken know that all trading, there's bound to be winners and losers. So never go all in on a single trade. Use level bets. But you don't have to. In just a moment, I'll show you how we're able to leverage these quick moves with explosive, cheap options, run about $100 per contract. You can always start small. That's what I tell everybody, and aim to grow your account over time with Genesis.
Wow, Tom. I mean, only $100? I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here can probably afford to get into that on that kind of action. I mean, so tell us, do we simply wait for the 12 p.m. Genesis hour and buy any stock going higher?
Well, if you wanted to do that, I'm sure you'd be happy with some of the results. But there is a better way. In order to get the optimum returns, I wouldn't buy any stock going higher during the Genesis hour. Instead, I want to know which tickers are the strongest in the market, where the volume is flowing. In other words, the fastest horse, the one leading the pack, the secretariat of the bunch, leading the breakout. Now, if you've been following what I've been doing for any amount of time, you heard me talk about my custom-built trading technology, the Power Zone. When we hit this morning, it's a revolutionary tool that my team and I built to isolate stocks breaking out during the week. Power Zone takes into account multiple key numbers, including the high and low prices of the reference bars across 5 different 30-minute candlesticks using 1% ATR calculations on each individual stock. Now, the total cost is north of $500,000 to keep it up and running, but it's been worth every cent. In fact, Jeff once told me, if I ever sell DTI, make sure we got rights to the roadmap.
That's right.
Whenever a stock crosses in the Power Zone during the Genesis hour, that means it's leading the pack and breaking out. And we can place those trades to let Wall Street do the heavy lifting for us. Now, once I optimize the Power Zone for intraday charts, I'll begin live trading it with my own money on the line, manually tracking each entry, each exit, and the profit results. And I have to say, they came in better than I thought and originally hoped for. The model portfolio has seen a remarkable 278% account growth over the last 16 months, with a stunning 78% win rate. But as impressive as that is, over the last few weeks, it's been even better, taking it to the next level. All automated the whole thing. That means no more time glued to the screen like I have my whole career. No more back of the napkin math like I used to do. Your life just got a whole lot easier. The signal normally comes right about 12:05 each day. Then you can place a quick trade, take advantage of it if you choose, knowing that the numbers are behind you on the trade. Just Algo has paid out 70%, 78% accuracy on live trades so far. For example, gold on September 24th. Go check it out. Not much going on during the morning trading hours, just that noise again. But then right on time during the Genesis hour, gold was breaking out into that zone, meaning there was a good chance that gold would carry on higher with a 78% confidence rating based on the live results so far. You'd automatically be alerted right around 12:05 with the entry. Ticker, entry price, where you're wrong, and where you're going to take profit. All the details are included, so you can almost set it and forget it. Anyone who placed a quick trade to follow along could have seen 83% gain on the ticker, GLD. Now, the program coded up to specifically target the breakouts of the biggest, most liquid tickers out there, the SPY, QQQ, IWM, GLD, USO. Oh, notice it's got gold and oil in here. And two of those tickers I just showed you are moving into their most active phase. S&P and SPY are dominated by just a handful of companies. The Mag 7 make up 1/3 of S&P 500 and half of the NASDAQ. And the Mag 7 send volatility soaring higher when they report earnings, which is this week. And over the next week, 6 of the Mag 7 are going to report earnings. There it is, right there in front of you. But remember, you don't need a magic 8-ball to know the results before they report. With the Genesis algo, we can simply piggyback on the move, riding the next breakout. That way you can automatically target the fastest horse once the smoke clears at noon, and U.S. traders can take over the market during the Genesis hour. Like the string of trades back in May of 2024, amid the Mag 7's first quarter earnings week, markets were trading sideways all morning, just like the data shows. But then right on time, set your watch, folks. You tell people, if you can tell time, I can teach you how to trade. But then right on time, during the Genesis hour, the SPY was breaking into the power zone. And sure enough, a massive rally came next. And if you had Genesis working for you, automatically putting in your pocket. You'd have heard that ding right at 12:05 p.m. with the entry details. After taking about 30 seconds to place a quick trade, you go back to whatever you're doing. You got your target in there, you got your where you're wrong in there, and 24 hours later, cashed out with 106% gain on those options. That same day, you'd heard another ding, alerting you to a new trade entry for SPY. And just 24 hours later, cashed out with 158% gain on those options. But Jeff, it didn't stop there. During this earnings week, my algo sent out a third alert on SPY the very next day. And like clockwork, 24 hours later, cashed out with a 96% gain on the ticker SPY.
1,000
invested, each of those would have paid out $3,600 in profit.
That's right. And for someone more confident, starting with 5 times as much, that would have been 18 grand in 1 week. I mean, most folks I know would love to make that type of money in a month, anytime, let alone just 1 week. So tell me, is it really that easy?
Well, it depends on who you ask. Running countless strategy tests, working with market data and sophisticated programs to build this tool, and that's not easy, folks. And it was not easy. But fast forward to today. Getting a simple entry alert to your phone with all the information needed to take the trade. Hey, riding the bike, more difficult than following along with Genesis the way it's been built.
For sure.
Simply wait for Genesis to alert me right around noon each day. And if I like the trade, click those few buttons, I'm all set. Look what happened last June. Monday, June 10th, no action on the SPY in the morning. But then during the Genesis hour, with the Genesis algo, you immediately received the alert with all the necessary information. And only 2 days later, 87% gain on ticker SPY. And there's something really important to note with automated entry. Because we're able to get the signals in a split second without taking tons of time on our end, we can get an execution advantage. This is a big thing to have execution advantage. Next day, same exact story. Tuesday, June 11th, it's like watching paint dry in the morning. There's no money to be made before noon. But then the Genesis hour came, 103% gain on ticker spot. And all week long, folks would have made money on Genesis algo. June 12th, while others were waiting for fish to bite or heard that ding, 82% gain on that ticker, SPY. Very liquid options is key. Thursday, June 13th, another ding. Well, enjoying the summer air. 94% gain on that same ticker, SPY.
What about Friday?
Hey, June 14th, maybe you're preparing for a nice, relaxing weekend. Final ding for the week, right at noon. Off we went, 106% gain on ticker SPY.
So, Tom, if someone started with $1,000 in each trade that week, they could have pocketed $5,275 in profit. And that's without compounding any of the gains. I mean, someone who started with $5,000, you're looking at $26,378 in a single week. And the best part is there would have been zero heavy lifting on our part. I mean, your automated trading algo does all the heavy lifting.
Exactly right. In fact, this algorithm is so good, it actually replaced me one day. And after unleashing it into the market for a few months now, booking over 100 trades with Genesis, very statistically significant. Hey, here's your chance to be part of this Genesis outbreak, we'll call it, right here during earnings season. You can keep searching for the latest and greatest trading indicator or trading software or greatest line. Crowd, you mainly do all the legwork. I got it right here for you. You keep second guessing yourself, getting wrecked by your emotions. Everybody's done that. Or you cut all that guesswork out and start trading like a machine. Unlocking what could be your best trading year. But if you're ready to tap into it with an entirely new way to approach the stock market, then you're officially invited to take charge of your financial future with the power of Genesis. This is the start of it all. It's the only smart algo I know of that isolates stocks breaking out during the most powerful trading hour of the day. Go check it out. Only one out there when Wall Street is in control. Automatically generate alerts with everything you need to trade on the go. Giving you entry price, profit target, stop loss, even information for selecting the options. Right into the palm of your hand. Now, before we get the full list of breakout stocks that Genesis flagged today, let me walk you through how the membership's going to work. Listen up, folks. Here it is. Every day, Genesis will scan through the biggest, most liquid stocks out there. The SPY, the QQQ, IWM. And then it looks at gold and USO. When it flags one of these tickers breaking out during the Genesis hour, you'll immediately hear that ding in your pocket as the alert hits your cell phone or computer. Each trade, ticker, entry price, your stop loss, and profit target, all the details are included so you practically can set it and forget it. Everything you need to target what could be your next great trade. 51% gain on that ticker QQQ. And I've set it up to be as easy as 1, 2, 3 to access these constant Genesis alerts. You can opt in to receive automatic Genesis alert via the Telegram starting today. That way there's no delay in getting your next entry alert. 24/7, it's following the market for you. The Genesis members portal gives you all the information on our master classes. All the details of the sign up can be found, and I even walk you through that during the master class. We'll do our best to answer any questions you might have. You first find the recorded version in the members area. All you can expect, average 2 to 5 alerts per day on average. There's no shortage of opportunities. Now, look, if you want to trade the underlying stock with these Genesis alerts arrive, hey, do it. It's totally okay. But if you want to use options, I'll show you how to use options. If you want to target some of the biggest outsized returns we talked about today, you need to use options. Now, if you're new to options, I'm glad you are, because I'm going to teach you the right way through my Options Made Simple course. I'm going to give it to you. You just use the most basic form of options available, call options. Applying them to this Genesis trade is no harder than shooting a layup. But those of you who want to dig a little deeper into options and other unique ways to leverage these Genesis alerts to target these great returns, I have an Options Bootcamp 101 video series to teach you how to go from beginner to expert with options the right way. You'll learn how to easily leverage your trades for maximum returns, plus income techniques for those who prefer a safer approach. We'll even teach you my personal method for selecting high-powered weekly options that are cheap, but have shown the power to pay massive returns. That way, any new members who join today are equipped to hit the ground running right out of the gate. For example, like the Genesis trade on October 11th, anyone could enter for 92 cents per contract. That's $92, 107% gain on that one. Or about the Genesis entry on IWM back on September the 12th. Walked away, paid 84 cents, $84, 266% gain on that one.
Wow, Tom, and someone who put, let's say, $2,500 in each one of those trades could have banked $9,325 in cash. I mean, your VIP coaching programs here at DTI already run north of 10 grand a year. So I think
that's last year's prices, Jeff. That's last year's prices.
Okay. But I think that price tag would be more than fair considering there's nothing else quite like Genesis out there.
Well, luckily for everybody here today, it's not going to be the 10,000 to secure your personal access to the Genesis algo. I've set it up, amazing deal for you as one of the ones that joined today. If you're first in that door, we're going to limit it again. But before I open the doors, here's what gets me really jazzed up about the smart algo so far. Not only does the study show anybody could have hit some impressive winners like 83, 115, 164 in a couple of days on these stocks that break out, I've also reworked algo alerts when certain tickers are breaking down during the Genesis hour. That happens, folks. I mean, Wall Street is aggressively selling after the overseas markets have closed. Not only will these Genesis downside trades offer you a warning for some of your other investments, but they also give you a clear-cut path to target some big moves to the downside too. Entry, profit target, and stop loss, everything you need to take advantage of it. But let me be very clear. These downside trades have the same profit potential as the upside ones. I'm not just saying that. Some of the biggest opportunities come or from downside moves. Consider the 3-day market crash we saw back in July. Y'all remember it? Each day, the Genesis algo picked up a short opportunity, and each one would have been a home run trade. 168% gain on the SPY. That's playing put options. 283% gain on the SPY again. More put options. 324% on gold as people bought gold during that turmoil.
So, Tom, 2,000 into that last trade would have turned into $8,480 overnight. And that was just one of 3 downside trades that hit that week. So with Genesis downside trade bonus included, it's no surprise that the price of this exclusive membership is officially set at $4,295 a year.
That's right. If you join through the main website, that's what you're going to pay and expect to pay. 1 year access, $42.95. But if you take action right now, while we're live, we got a few extra surprises up my sleeve, and they're going to shock you. Bonus number 1. For tuning in today, being live with me, I'm going to immediately give you $500 off the sticker price. But not just that. Like I mentioned a minute ago, Genesis has shown the power to pay up to 5 times per day. So if you take action, I'm going to give you that 500 discount times 5. Do the math. 2,500 off of the retail price. That takes the price from $42.95 down to $17.95 for complete access.
So, Tom, that
That
means
means at the current run rate,
yeah, that the types of opportunities you've shown us today, if everything goes as planned, the entire membership fee could be paid off in less than a week. I mean, everything after that is just icing on the cake. I mean, just like some of your top students have already seen from your various works in the past. I mean, Prem here, I subscribed last Friday and I already recovered my capital plus $1,000 extra. And Whitney, I made my cost of subscription plus 500 in my first week. Very grateful to have found you.
Jeff, I'd love to see the newest members of the Algo have the whole membership covered in what feels like no time. That's why I'm going to do bonus number 2, half off because I'm live. So if you take action right now, I'm going to do something to make this an absolute no-brainer for you. For the new members that joined today, I'm already slashing that discounted price half off. That takes the price from $17.95 to only $897 for today. Everybody here ought to take that. But we're going to limit it. $897 is only guaranteed for the first 250 at that price. Now, if you take action, you'll have all the support you need to get going. And at any point, customer service team feels like we're getting to a point where there's too many members on board, we're going to cut the deal off. Now, trust me, you do not want to miss out on this price. Act, chicken, fish, or steak. You have to imagine the first 250 spots today are open and they'll fly off the shelves at this price. And after that, it's up to the team if they want to keep the deal live on the internet any longer. Act fast. Don't let it fly off and be left out. After that, it's up to the team where they're going to keep it live. Now, if you're ready to be one of the new members today, click the link in the chat. Drop the link. Drop the link. Here we go. Click the link in the chat. Or go to dtitrader.com/Genesis. Call 904-416-1776, then press 1. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis. $897. Wow.
Now, once you take one of the
best deal membership, do not close the next page.
Because on that page, you're going to get a unique invite to upgrade your membership to lifetime, which I saw somebody in there asking about that. No renewal fees ever again. Plus, the lifetime members will get free access to the Genesis Algo Indicator. You see, up until now, Tom is only offering the Genesis entry signals on the 5 most popular tickers: SPY, QQQ, IWM, then you got GLD and USO. However, Tom and his team just published an indicator that unlocks these Genesis signals on every single ticker in the market. So starting today, you can get instant access to it for free, meaning you can find even more of these epic setups on even more stocks, all on your own time. So make sure to upgrade your account to the lifetime when you take one of the best deal memberships today. I mean, remember, today's special is only guaranteed for the first 250 people in the door. And I wouldn't be shocked if we hit that number in the next hour or so. And after that, it's up to Tom's team if they want to just double the price or take it all the way back up to $42.95 retail price. So don't miss out on this. Spots are going to fill up quick. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call that 904-416-1776. Make sure you press the number 1 when you get there to get to Tom's team.
I can't wait to get everybody on board because I really got a special treat for everybody that joins today. If that's you ready to take control of your finances, welcome to the family. As a welcoming present inside your members portal, you're going to see another bonus valued at $9.95. You can access it immediately. Special cheat sheet available nowhere else in the world. Gives you insight on all the stocks Genesis scans in real time. Click the link in the chat or give us a call if you got any questions. And if you're a gold member, you know who you are. Call in as well because the team's been instructed to give you a bonus so good you'll be jumping out of your seat. New Genesis entries waiting for you. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call 904-416-1776.
So, Tom, I know you have been working hard on developing Genesis for quite a long time now. And over the last few weeks, you've shared the Genesis algo with me and a few of your closest friends. And I have to say that I'm very impressed with the quick results we've already been able to see from it. I mean, the very first trade got into the old QQQ, made 315%. Even $500 in that one would have paid out $1,575, and that's enough to pay off the membership in one trade and have a few $100 left over. I mean, knowing you and the work you've done helping, so many people for so many years, I'm really not surprised. I mean, people just hear from some of Tom's students. I mean, some of your happiest readers out there, like Dickens, said $1,930 in profit in less than 4 days. My top money making strategy. And Nancy here, last Friday, I made $1,606 net gain. I've never had so much fun in my life trading. Tom is the best mentor. And Denise just closed it with $400 profit, up $2,000 since we started. I have a small account to trade, so that's a big deal to me. And Eddie here, I have a 100% success rate on the 4 trades, almost 100% return on the recycled money in a week. And I can go on, and here's a few more top stories. I mean, George here, one of Tom's best students. I have been trading for 28 years. Not only is Tom one of the best traders I've ever met in my life, but he is also a heck of a guy. I mean, he is very humble and down to earth, which is rare for a trader. And DB here, I'm up $12,000 on AMD in 3 trades. Sylvian, Tom, I joined last week. Thanks for the cop trade. I closed the trade Friday at $2,249 in profit. Subscription paid. And KP here, thanks for this service, Tom. I've made my subscription back in the first week. Of course, Robert, over 2,000 a day. Everyone should be part of it.
That's amazing stories, Jeff. I can't wait to hear from more people to get on that list, like Robert, Sylvian, and George. So if you're watching right now, go ahead and join the club. Secure your Genesis membership at the best deal before the time runs out. Grab your lifetime plus the indicator on the next page. New Genesis entries wait for you. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis.
Make sure you call that 904-416-1776. If you need to talk to someone, make sure you press the number 1 when you get there.
That's one thing I want you to remember about from what we talked about today. It's this. Clearly see, hardly any money made outside this Genesis hour. Keep that in the back of your mind every day. A lot of noise. Real money's made during the Genesis hour, getting the setups. Anyone who identify the stock breaking out during the Genesis hour can repeatedly target quick moves. Look at the Russell 2000 small cap back in June. On June 17th, anyone watching during opening hours of the day might assume they're ready to head lower. Keep your eye. There it is. Of course, knowing what you know now, you wouldn't have been shocked by the morning drop, followed by Genesis hour. Here we go. Asia and Europe markets closed, noise gone. We're able to quickly see the Russell 2000 was breaking out. You'd been alerted right away automatically. And look what came next. 114% gain on that ticker, IWM. Watch it happen again on July the 16th. In the morning, markets drifted slightly higher, not a ton of directional bias to base the trade on. But during the Genesis hour, Wall Street showed their cards and IWM started breaking out. The boring lunch hours would have turned into a massive opportunity. Genesis algo would automatically send you the entry alert on IWM. Anyone who would have taken about 30 seconds to place that quick trade would have seen on this day, on this time, 125% gain on that ticker. And that's not gorgeous enough for you. Watch it happen one more time a few days later. July 22nd, that morning noise set in. Genesis hour breakout came. Automatic entry, built-in option selection, profit target, and stop loss ready to go. 280% gain on that ticker, IWM. The Genesis entries are waiting for you. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call 904-416-1776. The 897 for instant access is open and available.
And Tom, like I mentioned earlier, this notion that stocks are actually most active and bullish during the 12 p.m. hour is so backwards from what most people are taught these days. I mean, when you first told me about it, I thought you were kind of joking with me. But then I did my own research and came to the exact same conclusion as you did. I mean, take a look at this report over the last 10 years. I mean, what you're looking at is the average movement of the S&P 500 during each hour of the day. And here's your market open between 9:30 and 11. Here's your 11 to 12. And so far, so on and so forth throughout the whole day. 12 p.m. is historically the most bullish time to trade. And it's not even close. It's a landslide, really. You don't want to miss out on this Genesis hour. And you don't want to miss the next automated trade from the Genesis algo. So you need to go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or click that link Adam's dropped in the chat. Call that 904-416-1776 if you need to talk to someone. Make sure you press the number 1 if you do that. It's only $8.97 for instant access, but that's not going to last long. Remember, that's only for the first 250 people. I mean, Tom, at $17.95 a year, this offer is a no-brainer. But running at the live webinar discount of only $897 a year, you'd almost be foolish not to try it out. Now, before we open up the chat and break away from to some trading here, really quick, I want to ask you a few questions. First, earlier you mentioned that you have identified 5 stocks that you expect to move higher. Can you share those tickers with us now?
Yep, I'm glad you asked. Here they are. NVIDIA, Tesla, Berkshire, DJT, and Gold.
All righty. I'll leave those up here. Get your camera out, take a picture of them.
Yep. Write them down, folks. You heard it
Hit
here.
print screen on your computer, do something. There they are. Now, can members begin receiving these automated alerts as soon as today?
Yeah, the alerts via Telegram and platform is free, extremely easy to sign up for once you sign up for the spot.
How many alerts can we expect per day?
We run many different sets of data. There's, quite a few tickers we went through. The final data shows 2 to 5 alerts per day with a 78% win rate. Circle that. And so far, that's on live trades.
Wow. So is Genesis for beginners?
I wish I'd have had this when I began it. Yeah. You got 14 days to try it out. If you aren't loving it after the first 2 weeks, you can get a refund. That way you plenty of time to paper trade, get familiar with the alerts, explore. We're gonna start tomorrow. I got something really big that I'm gonna get to in a second. Keep going.
Will there be a master class for members?
Oh, yeah. Over the next few days, we'll get live and we'll be able to trade these Genesis 6 with you in real time, include walking you through the option selection process.
All righty.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad you mentioned options. Are these complex or confusing trades to take?
No, we keep it simple here, Jeff. We just keep it simple. I'll teach you how to tap into these low price options. Powers move very fast.
Cool. Do we have profit targets and stops built in?
Absolutely. I'll show you my risk management techniques and practices, plus additional insights and tips to register how aggressive or conservative you are.
Cool. Do I need a big account to trade Genesis?
No, absolutely not. Like I said, most of the trades are easy to get into for low prices, and you get started with a small account and grow it over time. The best type.
Cool. Now, Tom, I'm in on this and I can't wait to take today's trades. Now, remember, people, today's live webinar discount is only guaranteed for the first 250 people in the door today. That's because we want to make sure that the customer service team is fully equipped to get the new members up and running smooth as gravy. So once we hit the 250 mark, we'll have to hear from the publisher if it's time to shut it down or not. Don't pay $4,295 online retail price, and don't even pay the $17.95 discounted price. Today, you can go to dtitrader.com/Genesis, either just to click that link that Adam's dropped in the chat, or you can call that 904-416-1776 if you want to talk to somebody. Make sure you press the number one you do that to get to Tom's people. It's only $897 for instant access. And don't close the next page, because if you want VIP, you can get VIP there as well. So there's another bonus, Tom.
Here it goes, the bonus. Put it up here. Folks, if you get signed up today, I'm going to invite you to 10 trades. That's right, 10 trades. My goal in these 10 trades is for you to take advantage of what I would call a scholarship journey. And I'll keep track of it, and I'll start these trades next week. And I'll come out with them after 12 o'clock each day. I did one today, Jeff, as a precursor to people who already had Genesis. They made 25% today on one of my bonus trades. Wow. Anybody here take that trade? Type it in here. I'd be glad to show people just how serious I am about helping you win. Okay? So now's the time. No other time. No procrastination. This is a chicken, fish, or steak. 10 trades. I call it scholarship trip with me. If you made that trade today, you got it. It hit during this presentation. All you got to do is do simple math.
And not only is it
adds up
$897 for a year, you're also getting 10 free trades from Tom live with him.
That's right. And I'm doing that for a reason. I want to show people how to take this Genesis, probably one of the best indicators to identify market direction that you can take advantage of. Use it for your portfolio, use it for everything. But these 10 trades will happen starting next week. I can't do any more, but grab your mouse myself. This is the closest thing I can do.
Click that link that Adam's put in the chat, or go to the dtitrader.com/Genesis. Call the 904-416-1776 if you want to talk to somebody. Remember, it's only $897 plus Tom giving you 10 free trades. I mean, heck, you can pay probably for it in those 10 trades. That's not guaranteed, but there's that chance to be able to do that.
You know, one day after I'm gone, they'll say, you know, that word past performance is not indicative of future results. They'll have a special exception when you're trading with me.
That's
That's
right.
what they're after I'm dead and gone.
Uh,
I've said that statement so much, Jeff, over my career. Past performance not indicative. I said one day my goals and say, except small exception here. Okay,
that's right.
folks, get on board. We did, Jeff. Thanks for helping everybody.
You
But
bet.
these 10 bonus trades is my way of saying, let me show you how it works. We'll do it next week, starting next week. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, folks, for being here.